Welcome to the Lovable podcast. It's a Seinfeld podcast, meaning that it's about nothing in particular.
Hey. Hi. How are you guys? Miss me? Nah, you didn't. I'm still here to bug your asses out. This is Ariel, and this is the Husky Bible Podcast, episode 16, Off the Cuff. Why off the cuff? Well, being so autocritical as I am of everything that I do, aka I hate everything that I do, and I scrutinize it and analyze it till death. I have noticed that the last batch of podcasts has been an attempt to imitate the formula of certain people that do podcasts as well, and I noticed that they suck. To be quite frank, and be honest, I am not happy with the product that I am providing. Yet I do not want to quit doing podcasts per se. I'm just very unsatisfied with what I have been producing so far because it feels like a regurgitated formula. It feels like something that has been done to death. And it feels like I'm trying to extract a thing that other people did and see if that fucking sticks to the wall. And I'm basically just throwing shit out of the wall to see if it sticks and if it works. And for that, I apologize. I am sorry that I have not lived up to my end of the bargain in terms of providing a good podcast, something that is different, fresh. But then again, in the sea of fucking podcasts, there must be like over 1 billion podcasts around the world in every conceivable language, in every conceivable way. And, it's kind of hard to do something original that stands out among the rest. I mean, there's a bunch of new podcasts that come out that automatically get an audience. Well, what do you know? Practically the main reason or the real reason why these podcasts go up right away is because it's a famous person that is attached to it. Yours truly is as famous as nothing. So I have no fame to bank on this. But as I stated earlier, I still want to do these things. I don't know. There's an urge inside of me, not because I want to become famous, not because there's money into it. Believe me, no sponsors, nothing. Although I did create a Patreon like 2 years ago. I have yet to use it. And as of this moment, I don't think I have the inclination to start a Patreon in order to support this endeavor. I'm doing this out of sheer pure will. And the reason I'm doing it is because, I don't know, I just have this fucking urge that I have to do this thing. There's something inside of me that screams, you have to do this shit, and you have to get better at it. I don't know why. Don't call me a prophet. Don't call me something that like, oh, well, I believe that in the future I will be this voice that will be needed to be heard. No. If any one of you that listens to me, what's the number now? 2 of you? Oh, by the way, I am not going to do a video. This one is pure audio, no video. I may put, like I did before, the audio, just put a picture on it and let the audio run on YouTube, but there's no video on this. Cause, the video quality is shit. I don't have any more cameras in order to do this properly. I am trying to get more materials, and I did purchase some material in order to get the podcast better, get it rolling, and hopefully have someone here to record with me, because I need people to bounce off ideas, because this shit is boring just with me alone. Hence why I started doing stupid shit like trying to imitate formulas from other people. But yet here I am, all alone, with no net, no structure, nothing. Just pure nothing. So let's see how this one goes. So I guess what I'm going to do is like fucking be honest and be off the cuff. Just, shoot the shit. Say my piece. Say whatever the hell I'm thinking in my head. Which is something difficult to accomplish because there's a billion thoughts coming in my head, and sometimes I don't have the inclination or the time to explain myself or my actions, because I don't know if I've mentioned this before, and I'm being sarcastic. Of course I have. I'm a fucking introvert, and to express myself properly to other people and let them know how I feel, no bueno. Not good. People usually don't get it. People usually don't understand. People, I come off, surprisingly, whether you guys believe it or not, I come off as an asshole. And there's some truth to it, because with years of developing a tough skin and avoiding people at no cost, yes, you kind of develop the traits of a 100% 101 proof asshole. And I would have to admit that, yes, there is a side of me that is 1000% an asshole. Now, do I want to be an asshole just for the being an asshole's sake? No. But it just comes off that way. So, people that listen to me, I'm sorry, I guess. Apologies are in order, I guess, for defending myself. Now, why would I want to defend myself to people? Why the hell do I have to build these walls around people? Because, what's the reason? There has to be a reason why I have to be an asshole to people. Without getting too deep and too personal into my shit, but and not to be too vague about certain things and certain aspects of my life, what I can tell you is that childhood trauma, always. That's always where shit starts. A bunch of things that, shit that I remember vividly, shit that I don't remember, but then I was told that happened, and that kind of, develops into, I don't trust people. Like, for example, my mom passed away, some time ago. 20 years ago, actually. But she did tell me stories of shit that happened to me as a child. And I would say, yeah, that kind of pushes you to not trust people. Like, for example, I was almost kidnapped as a kid in a mall. Apparently my mom lost me for a moment in a mall. And a woman just grabbed me and took me, and being the idiot that I was, I'm just trusting every fucking bastard that walked in two legs. I was like, oh, yeah, okay, you take me. Yes, okay, I trust you. I think I was 3, so, I kind of forgiving on my end that I just trusting on anybody, but then again, 3 years old, what the fuck did I know? Mom caught me on time, and they got to the person that was kidnapping me on time. That's what I recall of her telling me. Unfortunately, I cannot get her in the phone right now to recall the story correctly as she remembered it, because, as I before mentioned, she is no longer with us. What other childhood trauma? And this is not to throw in my parents under the bus. I will say, I would put this disclaimer up front first. Whatever happened between my parents back in the day, I've made my peace with it, and I understand it, because we had a talk. My mom got to expel a lot of stuff before she died, and she put a lot of things in perspective. So, and I'm not going to talk about that because I'm not in liberty to talk about that kind of stuff. It's very personal, very deep, and very strong stuff. Not that I wouldn't want to talk about it per se for talking, but there's a lot of people that I would need their blessings to talk about it because it would hurt to talk about it clearly. But yeah, she pretty much put everything on Front Street. The day before she died, actually, she died of cancer. And it was tough. It was strong. It was one of the toughest things I've ever been through. And not just me, my whole family. I like how this thing is starting to go to a downer. It seems that it's a theme with me that I just have to suck the life out of anything that I'm trying to do. It's like, I want to make things happy. I want to make people laugh. But let's go to the dark places of my soul. Let's go fucking dark. And let's stay there in the fucking darkness. This is awesome, right? Anyway. Yeah, she said a lot of shit. Not disrespectfully. I mean, that she poured her heart out and said all the things that bothered her. To keep it basic, she made her peace with God and mankind. And she put all her cards on the table, all her fears, all her regrets, things that she was sorry about, things that she didn't get to do. She said all of it. She said her goodbyes to us, and the next day she was gone. I mean, I rarely talk about this in person, let alone doing it now on a podcast. But hey, sure hell beats therapy, right? Sure as hell beats therapy. As you can see, I'm also codependent on sarcasm, so this will go nicely. Anyway, so yeah, that was traumatic, but hey, I was 21 when she died? So, you're putting your age out there. Yes, I'm 42. So, whatever. So yeah, childhood trauma. So like I was saying, I don't want to put my parents on Front Street, and I made my peace with my parents, and this is the longest introduction ever, but this is part of the course with how I talk. With my dad, and my dad was, not a good person to grow up with. He has since changed for the better. But when I was a kid, he was an alcoholic and a womanizer by his own admission. Not that I'm adding anything to it. You can ask him directly and he will tell you this because he told us very clearly once he converted into Christ and left the street life, the thug life. And he told us clearly my amazement at the age of 13 that he had 7 women on the street. Just like that. He just threw that knowledge on me. Like, I was fucking 7 girls at the time. And I was like, whoa, this is not the information a 13-year-old kid would need to know about his father. He thought he just didn't want to give us a time of day. Turns out, no, he was just slinging dick, across the nation. No disrespect to my dad. As I said, that is something that he himself admitted to. He no longer lives that life. I can assure you of that. He no longer lives that life. He left it cold turkey. He was an alcoholic. The memories of my childhood are not the fondest. So hence why I tend to concentrate on geek stuff like Superman, Spider-Man, Batman, all those man-ending heroes. Because it was an escape from the shit that was life as a child. So if you needed an explanation why I'm such an asshole, I guess that would be in a nutshell. Yeah, so back to my dad. When I was a child, seems that my dad had a problem with the way how I was, because he just saw me as this weak piece of shit that needed to be corrected, and he, in his drunken stupor, did shit that to this day still I have not recovered. Yeah, when you see that your dad tried to drown you twice as a child, kind of fucks up your whole perception of a loving father, And again, I'm not throwing him under the bus. I am not saying he's full of shit. And I don't hate him. I made my peace with him. He's not that man anymore. I do not hold that against him. He has changed. But it doesn't change the fact that my childhood was turned into shit with that beautiful experiences. Now, what added to the fact is that he was laughing. The first time it was my mom that saved me. The second time, by the grace of God, that I survived, I guess, or I turned into Aqua Boy, that I learned how to breathe underwater. I don't know. This is my defense mechanism, by the way, laughing at very dark shit. So if you can't take a joke, then go fuck off. This is not the nice corner of the world where I go and talk about how nice things are, how beautiful they are, how precise. You know, you want that, you can go watch a marathon of Bob Ross on Twitch. No offense to Bob Ross. I watch him. He helps me go to sleep. This is my just dark sense of humor. Anyway, so yeah, off the cuff, name of the podcast. You have been warned. This is very personal shit. I don't even know if I'm gonna put this on the air because you know, a lot of dirty laundry, a lot of dirty shit, and I haven't even gotten to the dirty shit, the real dirty shit that happened to me as a child. I mean, those are just some of the beautiful experiences that yours truly, and believe me, I'm saying these things as a way to like trying to understand why the fuck I am the way I am, is not searching a pity party. I'm not trying to like, woe is me, look at me, poor me, not that kind of shit. I'm just throwing out there what happened to me, what I perceive that happened to me, because it could be that I have a faulty memory. Maybe I was dropped in the head a few times. I don't recall shit very well, but nonetheless, this is the shit that happened. This is the things that I feel that fucked me up to become the fucking piece of shit that is walking around right now. And I gotta say, with some very big exceptions, I'm kind of okay at how I turned out. I mean, I should have been, I don't know, serial killer, bomber, I had the beautiful adjective there, but nonetheless, I'm here, just a fucking, a parent, has a steady job, does some drawings on the side, some graphic design on the side. Yeah, that's basically my life. A husband, a father, quasi artist, I guess you can call that. It does some graphic designs, some drawings, and puts it up on a page, hoping that people would buy it. TeePublic store, tpublic.com. Go search my shit. It's in the links in the bio. If you don't, then you don't, but that's just letting you know, FYI. So yeah, like, what was the most traumatic shit that happened to me? I mean, I don't even know if I want to go there, because that would open a whole nother can of worms. And some of you, the two of you that are listening, are like, what the fuck? There's worse shit than this? Yes, motherfucker, there's worse shit. And I'm not saying that my life was just an unending, looping chain of events that were just shit on top of shit. It was a birthday cake of shit. Layers and layers upon layers of shit. No, there was some good shit that I remember from my childhood. Even memories from my father when he wasn't drunk and he didn't have the homicidal tendency to killing me. He was practically cool. He was alright. When he wasn't drunk and he didn't want to kill me, he was fine. Other than that, I mean, other than the whole trying to kill me twice, it was okay. He bought me shit, he bought me toys, took me to Toys R Us. I remember to this day, when I was a kid, like back in '86, He took me on my birthday to Toys R Us. He said, come. And he took my brother with me. So and he just threw me in the store. He's like, okay, whatever the hell you want. I'm like, what? Whatever you want. It's your birthday. Grab whatever you want. It doesn't matter how big or small, whatever it is. Just bring it over here. I'll pay for it. It's your birthday. This is my birthday present for you. Get me whatever the hell you want. I was like, whatever? No limitations. He said, no limitations. Whatever. Go. And man, I was running the whole store looking for stuff to buy. I was like, okay, it's just one. Don't be greedy. And I had my big brother in my ear. He was like, go get a BMX bike. No, not a BMX bike. It was like, I think it was a Knight Rider bike. You know, back, 86, Knight Rider was a big thing. What's Knight Rider? Google it. Fucking piece of shit. I don't have to fucking tell you everything. And I was running and I found, Castle Grayskull from He-Man Masters of the Universe. I was like, I want this. And my brother was protesting, and he still protests to this day. He stays to this day that, no, I wanted that for you to learn how to ride a bike. Thing is, I didn't know how to ride a bike. But he was thinking, no, but you will learn how to ride a bike eventually. So this bike will be yours. And it has the Knight Rider logo on it. And you know, the little lights are the kits on the front. And I was like, but I don't know how to ride a bike now. So fuck that. I want Castle Grayskull. And I won. I got my Castle Grayskull. To this day, I maintain that was him secretly trying to get that bike. So I know it because he knew my lazy ass wasn't going to ride it. So he was going to ride it. And that's a joke, by the way. He already had a bike. But still. So yeah, there was some good stuff that happened in my childhood. It wasn't all bleak and darkness. But going back to the really dark shit that happened to me, I was molested when I was 5 years old. Yay. How can you joke about that? How can you? It fucking happened. It happened. That's it. I can't change it. And I think that is, out of all the shit that have happened, and I'm leaving out a lot of shit, by the way. Out of all the shit that happened in my life, I think that's the one that fucked me up the most. I think that's the one that pretty much turned me into the introverted piece of shit that I am right now. And, it's not that I want to say thank you to that horrendous cunt that, tried to have her way with me. Or, actually, she did have her way with me, actually. Let's say that. Yeah, she had her way with me. It woke me up at a very young age when I was 5. And some of you are like, who is this cunt? Well, she was the housekeeper. I was alone with her in the apartment where we lived in DR. That was back here in DR, not in the States. And it happened. I'm not gonna go into the fucking details, you fucking, sick bastards. It happened. And the shit that woke up in me, that would have to require legal teams to discuss. A lot of shit that I regret ever doing woke up a side of me that should have not been woken up then. Could have happened a little later. I don't know, 13, 14. By the way, my father wanted to wake us up before he was, this is the beautiful thing about my dad. My dad has no fucking filter in his mouth, kind of like me right now in this podcast, but in real life, I keep my mouth shut. But in this podcast, it's like my safe zone where I can get to say everything that it comes into my mind without any thoughts or repercussions or whatsoever. But in real life, my dad is totally off the cuff. He will tell you exactly what he thinks with no sugarcoats, it's like, fuck your feelings. This is the 411. Fuck your feelings. Fuck him right in the ass. That's my dad in a nutshell. So, when my dad converted, he told us straight up, he was like, you know what was my plan for you two? Me and my brother. My brother is older than me. I will not mention his name for, security purposes. Plus, I don't think he would appreciate me dragging his name to the mud, as I am now, just spewing all the shit out of my system. But anyway, he told us, you know what was my plan for you two idiots? I was planning to take you two to a brothel, a proper whorehouse, and I wanted to have one of them hoes to devour or deflower our virginity. That was his plan. We're talking about a man that tried to give us alcohol way below the age limit, if you know what I mean. Like, way below the age limit. So, yeah, he wasn't, father of the year material in terms of keeping his kids off the street. He wanted us on the street. But seeing his example, sometimes he came home totally shit-faced. And I don't think he minds me telling this. It's part of his testimony, actually. Every time he goes to a church, he talks about his testimony. How God changed his life from an alcoholic, womanizing piece of shit to a man that, although cusses like a sailor still to this day, his heart is gold. He does not womanize anymore, has not had a drop of alcohol since 1992. And I can assure you of that. He has not womanized, has not gone after any hoes, has tried to live his life as clean as possible. And he is the reason why I still go to a church and believe in God. Because to me, after seeing the shit, and by the way, I'm just saying stuff from the bottom, like bottom level shit, that the things that he did. The man was wild. He was wild. Like the example I was trying to explain to you guys now before I so evilly interrupted myself. Fuck you, Ariel. Anyway, he came shit-faced one time to the house, and mom just told her, go pick up your dad. He's fucked. This was very shortly before he converted, by the way, like maybe a year or two before he converted. And he was shit-faced. Like, he was out cold. It was like, the engine's running, nobody's behind the wheel, or something else was behind the wheel. One thing that I do have to say about my dad, best driver in the world under the influence. Best driver in the world. I mean, we used to go to, and Dominicans that might be listening to this would probably understand the reference. We used to go to Sahoma, San Jose de las Matas, on his pickup truck. He had a Suzuki pickup truck, a 1988 pickup truck. It was a dark wine color. And he used to glaze in that thing. You have to understand, back in the early 90s, the San Jose de las Matas is in a mountain. Is located on top of a mountain. That in La Cuesta. And you have to take, a very narrow, it was back then somewhat narrow, very dirt road going up the mountain, where cliffs, very close cliffs. And my dad would just glaze through those things and just lifting up all the dirt. And by the way, we were sitting in the back of the truck. My mom was on front with my little sister, while me and my brother were in the back, and we were just going, woohoo! Like, this is awesome. Go faster. And Dad was like, faster? Shit. See, the good memories. See, you hold on to that stuff, the good memories. Anyway, going back to my dad returning home shit-faced. He came in shit-faced. My brother and I had to take him off the vehicle because he just stayed there grabbing the steering wheel. Picked him up. By the way, he was packing heat back in the day. Yes, he had a gun. And we had to carry him through the stairs, took him to his room, undress him, leave him in his undies, put away the gun. Yes, he was still packing. Turn on the shower and leave him there on his underwear in the shower until the water hitting on his face made him return back to life, and he would start bathing himself there. That didn't happen every night, but it happened one night that I recall. So yeah, that was another beautiful, nice memory. And here I was wondering why this guy's an asshole. If you met me in life, well, there's some of the reasons right there. And again, this is not me trying to throw my family under the bus. This is not me trying to like say, well, this is their problems. No, I mean, look, the one thing that Christianity has taught me, and one reason why I uphold, I believe the story of Jesus in my life is because outside of that, what hope does humanity have? What hope does human beings have? If we don't have someone that can cleanse our dirty fucking hearts and minds, then what's the fucking point? Because fuck ups are inevitable. We're all gonna fuck up, and if you don't forgive that, then you're just gonna perpetuate Jesus Christ. You're just gonna let the shit continue to happen. That's what I get for trying to be talking like I'm such an intellectual. I fucking hardly finished college. I didn't finish college. So this is me trying to be like very intellectual and talking like very profoundly. I don't have none of that shit. But the thing is, we fuck up. All human beings. That is our nature to fuck up. That is our way of being to fuck up. And we need someone to clean us. We need someone to cleanse us. I believe in the story of Jesus because his sacrifice cleans us. We need redemption. We need something to clean us, to purify us, to know that we are truly forgiven, to know that we are truly out of the woods, that our debt to ourselves, to God, to the universe has been paid. So I bank on that. I believe on that. And seeing how the world has gone to shit right now with your woke bullshit, just it's an example. Like right now, you are not allowed to fuck up. The world right now, and when I mean the world, I'm talking about basically what's happening in the United States. People are not allowed to fuck up. People are not allowed to, okay, I made a mistake. Can I change? No, you're fucking done. We don't want you here anymore. Go fuck yourself. Thank you, fuck you, bye. And that's it. Well, I believe in change. I believe people can change. Why? Because that's the story of my life. That's the story of what I've seen. I saw my father change. I saw my mom, change. I saw everybody in my family, things that have happened to me, things that I've just seen people go through changes. And it's possible that a person can change. A person can, stop being that and become something else and realize that all the fuck ups that they've done in their life, can catch up to you. And there, that will, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is that you have the opportunity to change. You have the ability to change. You don't have to be stuck in a rut and say, well, this is the way I am, blah, 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 blah. No, you can change. And I guess that's what I'm trying to say out of all this gibberish and me expelling all this stuff from inside of me, which I don't have no idea why I have decided out of all the methods and how to get all this shit out of your heart. I've decided to, you know what? I have a podcast. Let's throw this shit here. Well, I've saved some money on therapy, on psychiatric treatment. And I hope this has been beneficial for me. I hope that in some weird ass way, which I have yet to comprehend how this helps you guys. Yeah, this is weird. Anyway, my TeePublic store. Let's go back down to the promotion side because goddamn it, we need money. Yeah, teepublicstore.com. Not only t-shirts, they have masks, cell phone cases, laptop cases, posters, whatever the heck you want. You can print it there. You can ask for it there. That's the best way you can help here in order to make this thing grow. As already stated, I've bought equipment to see if we can add a second person into the podcast and hopefully not erase the podcast again, so I can have my wife again doing the podcast with me. Hopefully she will be here the next one, and we will have easygoing time, and who knows, we might add my beautiful lovely daughter. So after sharing and expelling the deepest corners of my soul, this has been Ariel. This has been the Husky Bible. Take care and peace. Bye.